Hi everybody, Cindy at Upcycle Design Lab. Today I'm going to be upcycling some snack wrappers. I ate a lot of Cheetos, probably too many. I like Cheetos, anything with silver wrapper on the inside. So you can use granola bars, Gardettos, anything that has sort of a silver inside. And I have kind of a crazy shower downstairs. It's a weird size and it doesn't have a door, it has a curtain and all, so the curtain's way too big for it. So my goal, or my plan here, is to take these snack bags and make a new custom fit shower curtain. Alright, so here's a shot of our bathroom. It's a little bit junky. Hopefully this is the first of many projects to kind of refinish it, but you can see the shower curtain dragging on the floor there. And you can also see how bunched up it is at the top, where all of it is sort of scrunched together. So the first step is to prepare all of your foil. So you need to open up the wrappers and just clean off the insides. What I'm showing you here is not even remotely enough foil, but I have been collecting it for a long time. You can use paper towel or soap and water, however you want to clean the inside of the wrappers. I'm just wiping this one off to get the grease off, and then I went back with a little soap and water and dried it off. The next step is to add some rubber cement to the colored side of the foil, and then once it's dry I'm going to fold this over and try to get it as smooth as I can, but to be honest there's just no way to really get the foil completely smooth unless you're working with really small pieces, and that kind of defeats the purpose of cutting out all the circles. It didn't really matter to me that there were some wrinkles in the foil, but you do want to try and get it as smooth as you can. Next you want to use a circle cutter because you're going to be cutting so many circles. I did a few by hand and then I went out and bought this circle cutter. And it worked pretty well on the foil. I wasn't sure how well it was going to work on 2 layers of foil, and then also the rubber cement is in the middle. It probably dulls the knife a little quicker, but it did work really well. I probably should have mentioned before that you need to take some measurements, obviously, of the opening that you're trying to cover. My calculations were that I needed about 12 long rows of 27 circles, so that came out to about 324, I think. So like I said before, it does take a lot of foil and a lot of time, but it was a good activity to kind of do in front of the TV. Alright, so here I'm just folding all of the circles into quarters. You do this so that you can line everything up and have straight stitch lines. This is another good activity to do in front of the television. So once I had all of my circles cut out and folded, I'm just stitching them together with a single row stitching. And you want to just make sure that the edges are touching so that the thread holds the pieces together and that you're stitching along the fold line to keep everything straight. So here I'm just stitching 12 rows of 27 pieces together, and in this shot I'm actually hooking the rows together. It can get a little tangled and confusing while you're sewing, so I did end up marking my top row just so I could get the first couple of rows stitched together. Again, you're going to follow along the fold line that you've made, and you just want to make sure that you are sewing the right pieces together, which is a little confusing at the beginning, but once you get going, it's pretty easy to follow along. Alright, so just to show you where I am on the project, I've gotten all the circles sewn together in about the size that I need for the shower curtain. So you can just see I numbered them one across the top just to help sew them together to make it a little easier to keep track of things. But basically this is what it looks like so far. To make the top panel, I used the same technique of gluing the pieces together with the colored side facing each other. And then I cut some rectangles and marked them with a little bit of an overlap and used some more rubber cement to glue them together to make a long strip. And then I went back over the glued parts and stitched them on a sewing machine once they were put together. Alright, so here's kind of a weird angle of my garage, but you can see I've punched the holes, or cut the holes in my top panel, and now I'm going to add some grommets. If you've never done grommets before, you need to make sure you get the kit and not just the grommets themselves, because you need the two die pieces to actually add the grommets. But it's very simple. You just punch the hole, put your top piece of your grommet through the hole, and place it in the die, and then you just place the back on and tap the whole thing together. The final step is to hook the two pieces together, and because I didn't want to use any straight pins to punch holes in the material, I'm using the rubber cement again to attach the two pieces, and then I'm going to go back and sew it on the sewing machine. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll check out some of my other YouTube videos and also subscribe to this YouTube channel.